Hey, this is Tyrese Anderson. What I want to talk about today is the question that I'm certain everyone, especially anyone who's followed rap music, has wondered at some point. Is it possible for there to be the greatest rapper of all time? So, to answer this question that I'm certain has come across anyone who follows rap music, is it possible to have the greatest rapper of all time? Which is a question that I think has popped up in everyone's head. The first thing I want to say is that to answer the question is yes, I do believe that it's possible to have the greatest rapper of all time. Because truth be told, about the idea of having a greatest rapper of all time, that would simply, first and foremost, before I get to the second point, mean that it would be someone who's able to tell the most well thought out stories, which would mean stories that make sense so they don't have any plot holes. Everything comes together and it has a good flow to it. Like it's not a type of rap where they rap about one thing and they talk about something else. They have a good flow to it. And obviously, not just have a good flow to the actual story, they are able to come up with stories more easily than anyone else. And also, to go along with that, they have the ability to rhyme pretty much every word you can possibly imagine together. And truth be told, they they can do that. They can simply put it, do that. They can literally rhyme every word together all the time. You know, every single word you can imagine. It's like saying butter with like mother or something. Like, and they do it in a way that makes sense for the raps. So truth be told, if someone can figure out the most amount of words, which would just simply come down to putting enough effort into reading a dictionary and finding the most amount of words that go together, and they can tell a story that make the most amount of sense fluently, and do as create as many stories as possible, then of course that person could be the greatest rapper of all time. Because it's a skill like any skill. You have people who are okay, you have people who are good, you have people who are amazing, just like golf. You have some people who suck at it, you have some people who are really good at it. As like, for example, Tiger Woods. Look at how good he is. So if you had someone who put in all that time and effort, then they can become a good rapper. Which leads me also to the second point. As truth be told, you can make a rap and tell good stories and rhyme all the time, but do you have the number one question that also matters? Do you have the ability to make your music entertaining? Because anyone can rap about anything. You can just rap all the time, like these conscious rappers, about, you know, things such as getting the community together and stuff like that. But even then, that can get kind of boring. And what about the people, truth be told, who listen to rap who are not in our community, who don't feel our struggle? How are they going to do that? And even for people that are within our own community, truth be told, that can get kind of get old. How are you going to sell that? Look in the 1970s and black music for pretty much most of the 20th century. They didn't have this problem. They made music that was entertaining, that was entertaining and stuff, and didn't have this issue between, oh, are you going to talk about freedom, revolution and stuff, or talk about gang shit? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So truth be told, this is something that has been going on in the rap community, but even aside from that, truth be told, because that's another subject in itself, a really big subject, is that the question is, do you have the ability to entertain people? Because if you, whether you're talking about gangster shit, like talking about your past, or talking about anything for that matter, that's entertaining, do you have the ability to make the story entertaining? Because I can listen to you tell the most interesting story, tell the best stories, like well thought out, but the best rhymes. But if there's no entertainment value in it, then it's going to get boring. It's going to get boring. It's going to sound kind of corny at some point. Like something like those 1990s rappers who used to rap and used to have commercials for them when they would do these like PSAs talking about stop the violence. They could rhyme literally every word together. They told good stories, but it kind of comes off as kind of corny at the same time, though. It kind of just comes off as if you're just saying these things just to sound smart. Like I'm not dissing anyone here. I'm just saying, like, it comes off as kind of pretentious. You have to have entertainment value. You need to know how to talk about different topics, whether it's partying, whether it could be, your life, relationships, and make the stuff entertaining without it just kind of getting at some point kind of boring. And if someone is a master at talking about and having versatility and talking about all those different sorts of things, then they're gonna be possibly the greatest rapper of all time. It's as simple as that. Truth be told, that's all there really is to say. They're gonna be the greatest rapper of all time. It's just that, truth be told, no one has ever really studied that, and no one's really figured it out. And a lot of people say it just comes down to subjectiveness. We have different preferences, but truth be told, that way of thinking is kind of flawed because in the end of the day, there are some ways you can kind of prove someone's better than someone else. There are legitimate ways you can kind of prove that. So that's a problem those people who make that argument tend to make. So truth be told, I definitely believe it is possible to have the greatest rapper of all time to answer that question. So I believe we could have one. We could have a really good rapper. It or the best one of all time. It just simply comes down to how much effort is put into it, into his music and stuff. Because you can't, if somebody's making raps, even if it has mass entertainment value, and they say, "Well, I don't really like his music." If his stories are able to make a lot of sense, his rhymes are good, not this mumble rap crap that is going around now. Then truth be told, that's a really good musician. And if you make enough songs, I'm certain you're gonna find a song that literally even the haters even like, as truth be told. Because even in this world we live in nowadays, you can find even the people who hate an artist, you'll always hear that they say that they have at least this one song that that person likes. So what does that show you? Truth be told, um, it is possible to do it. I don't know if we'll have one soon or not, but we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, so this is my video to sum it up, to answer the question that anyone has had. So for this video, I've talked about many different things. One of them being, of course, the ability for someone who wants to become the best rapper to tell the best stories and have the best rhymes. I also talked about the ability to make sure your stuff is entertaining, because if you just simply talk about things like revolution and stuff, that can actually become extremely boring over time, which I definitely think it would become boring over time. So have good entertainment value, whether you want to talk about gangster shit or non-gangster shit that still has entertainment value, like partying and all that type of stuff. Truth be told, um, those are the points that answer this question that maybe somebody has wanted to have answered, for anyone who's curious about the question if we could have the greatest rapper of all time. So this is my video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you enjoy more videos like this, then hit the subscribe button and thumbs it up for support. And that is it. And that is all. Later.